welcome to another edition of the Integrate This EdTech podcast. I'm Jeremy Mikla, joined by co-host David Berner. And if you're tuning into this, you are checking out another one of our series of Tech in 10, where we are focusing on the AI integrations that Google has brought to Google Classroom. We've looked at some of the Gemini tools. We've looked at how it integrates with NotebookLM. And today, David is going to demonstrate how Google's Gemini Gems, that's very alliterative, is going to play an important role in what teachers can do with their students right within Google Classroom. So David, why don't you show us what you've got here about Gems?
Yeah, so there's going to be some similarities if you saw the NotebookLM episode that we put out. If you haven't, definitely go check that one out because that'll be something that you'll want to try as well. But if we're approaching this from including gems into our classroom, we're going to start out with, I'm just in one of my classes, you can see up here. And then if we click on the Classwork tab, there's going to be two different ways that you can approach this. One of them is to just create from the Classwork page. So if I wanted to take and create something, you're going to see that just like with our NotebookLM that Jeremy showed us, there is now a gem version as well. And this is going to correlate to the work that you have, or the classwork materials and things that you have in your class, and allow you to build gems around that material. So we're going to go ahead and click on gem, and you're going to see right away where you have our add a gem pop-up that happens. And much like NotebookLM, we can select from an existing one. So if you are someone who really likes experimenting with gems and you've already been creating things on the gemini.google.com side, you can do that, and you can select your gems from there if they're going to relate. I think mainly what I want to get across here is that you can build the gem directly in Classroom, or you could do a lot of your experimenting on the Gemini side, and then they will communicate with one another, and you can use them as you want to. So what I want to show with this is, if we want to create a gem based on different content that we have, we can do a number of these templates. You can kind of see here, there's some different options for you that you can explore. This is where our content actually lives, that's on the Classwork page. And this right here are some pre-built templates that they have for you. So if we're creating new, let's say I want to try the Quiz Me option, and this would allow students to come to this classroom quiz gem to communicate with it and learn based on what the content is. Now we're not going to select this. We're going to show that with the if there's already an assignment built into Google Classroom. We're going to say for this one that the assignment itself is not actually currently existing in Classroom, in the Classwork page. So I'm going to hit Create Gem, and this is going to start the structure of the gem. Now keep in mind, this is the very start. So you're going to see a couple things here. One of them is going to be the name. So now in this case, I know for a fact what I'm going to do is, with this gem, I'm going to connect it to a specific assignment that I'm building right now. So I actually want to call this the Isaac Newton quiz prep gem. Okay. Now you can add a description if you want to. This is to help you as students test yourself on the content we learned about Isaac Newton. Okay. The instructions are already in here for us, and they're built on the way that this gem is being constructed when we choose that pre-existing template with the quiz. So I would leave this and just leave it as is when you're not building it from scratch. If you're very comfortable and you want to try changing some things, feel free. But if you're just trying to try this for the first time, I would go with what's in there. And then you can add knowledge into here from your files and from your drive. Where that might come in handy is like with our quiz gem, I'm actually going to be, we'll call this Isaac Newton quiz prep. This is going to match the gem that we're creating, right, that we have right here. So, but for the content itself that it's pulling from, there's a knowledge base that it needs to pull from. And the very first thing that I want to include in the assignment is actually a link. And it's going to be this one from Britannica.com. And I'm going to put this in right here and add that link in. So the gem is going to be based off of this assignment as its knowledge base. So I want to just take a step back and go back to Gemini, because you can add additional knowledge base into here. So let's say that in your drive or in your files, you have a PDF or something, something else that about Isaac Newton. Maybe it's a story or whatever it might be, that you can include in here as well, and the gem will work off of all of that knowledge. Because when the students go into this, it's going to reference both the link and whatever you have built into the gem. So if we're good on all of this, that's great. One thing that I'll just note is you can choose whether to highlight this at the top of the class, or if maybe what we want to do is, since we're going to be focusing on Isaac Newton and his life, maybe we create a topic and we want to build it into the topic, not necessarily at the top of the class. Where the top of the class one might come in handy is like if there's maybe it's on, you're getting ready for a really large unit test and there's a ton of different topics, not just Isaac Newton. Maybe it's like inventors and philosophers or something like that. You could put it at the top and then it could include the different pieces in there, and that might make a little bit more sense when it's more broader knowledge that's found in the classwork page. But for this, let's just build it under Isaac Newton. So we'll take this check mark off and then we'll go ahead and post it. Okay, and then I got to do one more thing. I'm not going to add anything in here for this one, but there's two things actually to point out here. One of them is to preview it. So here we could say, just to test it out, I'm trying to learn about Isaac Newton. So this would be kind of what the students would be doing as they interact with it. You're going to see them going through and answering some questions and things like that, right? So it asks you for my grade level, and I say 8th grade. But what I do like about this is that really, regardless of whatever gem you build, the preview tab is great for testing whether the gem is operating the way that you intend it to. And that can be very helpful just to kind of go through that process before you actually save it. And so we'll just move to that next. You can kind of see here, it's going through the process of developing this for me as a student. So we'll just give it a second maybe just to see what we get. Okay, so you can kind of see here to the left, we have our conversation with the gem, and you can't really see it, but on the right-hand side, you see what seems to be the creation of a quiz that students would be able to go through that correlates to the knowledge base that we've given it. And so in our case, the link that we gave from Britannica. So anyway, now that we have that, let's say we feel satisfied with the gem. Great. You'll notice up in the right-hand corner, it says gem not saved. We want to update this. So we're going to click update. And what this is going to do is it's going to basically push our gem live so that when we are in our student side here, you can see they can click on this and then quiz me. So they're going to open this up. And what I like is how I kind of put it under the topic Isaac Newton. There, everything is matched up, and this is going to be the sole focus of our gem. Now, where you can also do something similar is, in that case, we actually were creating from scratch and we took the Isaac Newton materials from Britannica and plugged it in with the link. But let's say that you already have something in Classwork. You can do the exact same thing. It's just that you're a couple steps ahead. So Like with this one where we have this where the red fern grows topic, we've already built that out kind of. So we have our topic here and we also have the material here. And in this case, it's this where the red fern grows book. And what I did for this one is I pulled in a PDF of the book. So I'm just going to go in and edit this, and we're going to do a little bit of a different step here. So this is all built out. We've got our PDF. We have our topic. I'm going to click on Gem, and I'm going to do the same thing, but maybe I don't do the quiz. Maybe what I do is a study partner, something like that, where I create a gem. And now, unlike the last one where we didn't select necessarily right away this piece, and we just connected it to the topic, this one we're going to select that, and because we've already got that built, and we're going to create this. And we're going to go through that same process. And what's kind of nice is you can see here, we'll say we do want to change this, right? Because we want to make sure it's a little bit more clear. Red fern grows study partner. Give it a description if you like. But then here, what I like is it already pulled in our knowledge base because it was a PDF. You can already see it's attached it to the gem. Where the link operated a little bit differently. You didn't quite see that, so this is kind of nice. You can test it out again here if you like, but we're going to go ahead and hit update. And then what this will allow us to do is go ahead and save. We have our gem there. And this one you can kind of see I did have highlight at the top of the class. I just hit save a little too soon, which is fine. Okay, so now at least you can kind of see that though. Here you've got, our class learning tools, where the red fern grows, and then where the students would come, whether it's under our book directly or whether it's here, it doesn't really matter too much. It's just more for organization, and I would prefer that it would be under here. But our students can then open this up, and they're going to go directly to this. And now we have our own gem for the content that we're looking at, and we have our study partner ready to go. So this is the addition of gems and NotebookLM both are huge for what you can now create within your Google Classroom. So think about the content that you have. Think about all the things that you could maybe use this for. Try creating gems on your own. Try connecting them to your classwork, and you and your students, I think, will have a lot of fun with this one.